who is an employer is very relevant and an issue that comes up from time to time, mostly in the context of can we deal with a complaint against the employer or does that have to be dealt with by the local committee? So the employer under the act is the person in charge who has the overall supervision, control and management over the workplace, right? But in reality, it doesn't play out like that. Let's say there's a complaint against the CEO, for example. If the complaint is against the CEO, who's the most senior person in the company, can there really be justice done here, right? Is the CEO an employee or is the CEO an employer? Because under the POSH Act, in case the complaint is against an employer, it is to be dealt with by the local complaints committee and not the internal committee. The answer is not straightforward. Right? The act doesn't say that so and so designations of people are employers. The act only says that the person who has supervision, management, and control over the affairs of the organization is the employer.
Yeah.
You could argue that the CEO has those powers, but then you could also argue that somebody who's junior to the CEO also has management and control powers, and someone even junior to him has that. So then where do we stop? Everybody who is a manager cannot now be considered an employer because you will then be going to the local complaints committee to deal with all complaints, and that's not the purpose of the POSH Act either, right? So I think the most logical way to look at this is who has ultimate control, supervision, management over the affairs of a company. And in a company situation, who has ultimate powers is the board.
Yeah.
Right. And the CEO ultimately reports to the board. And the CEO is, of course, an employee. He has an employment contract. He functions as an employee, even though he may be a senior employee, a powerful employee, but he is an employee nonetheless, and he reports to the board. Right. So those complaints need to be dealt with by the IC and not the local complaints committee.